It's time. If you're watching this before June 29th, 2026, I want you to lock in. They are shutting down CERN on June 29th, 2026. I remember being a child when CERN first turned on. This is a large hadron collider. It is not a permanent farewell. There's a lot of interest and speculation around it because they don't know what's going to happen next, but they are expecting something strange. Now, why this particular time shutting it down is important. It's the closing of a timeline. And the idea of it is that there's going to be a reality reset. Now, if you're not familiar with CERN, let's talk about it just briefly. CERN has a chain of large hadron colliders. Those are magnets, and they go at a very rapid pace, and they run into each other, and they are trying to create a big bang. Yes, similar to liking to what they would say that happened for us to be here at, a long time ago, or in the past, or in the future, however you want to say it. Now, the very center of it, that's going to have a shutdown for 4 years, a term. We're talking physics, we're talking science, we're talking nature, we're talking molecules, we're talking spirituality, we're talking all of the above. What does that mean for you? Now, in this type of content, I always see in other videos, people making content like, does that mean I still got to go to work tomorrow? Does that mean my bills are still going to be due? That's up to you. But I want to share something with you that maybe it may or maybe not affect how you see your bills and work. Because a struggle is a state of mind. Just remember that. Okay, so theoretically, when they do this, they make it to where the particles in this realm are unstable. And they are, in turn, trying to create these micro black holes that don't actually go away. They don't exactly evaporate, which means they bring it into this realm, but they can't necessarily get it out. So they have multiple timelines, holes in time happening all at the same time. Okay, turning this machine off, the fear of it is that hypothetically, these particles, because the machine is not actually functioning right now, those particles can become unstable and shift things around while the machine is off. Okay, they have pushed the boundaries of science, yes. But how does that affect you on a physics level in your hometown, your home state, your home country, where you're at in the world right now? This is not to scare anyone. What I would suggest is that you take into consideration a few things. The shutdown will have an impact on you, but not in the way that you think, unless you have some psychological, emotional, physiological changes. Most people are distracted from their nervous system, so they won't notice shifts or us going in and out of holes at all. So will most people be going to work, paying bills, maintaining society? Absolutely, because that's their program. More than likely, if you're watching this video and you're actually hearing me talk about this, you're probably going to be going through some changes where you're activating and deactivating codes in your reality. Now, if you don't have your nervous system regulated, it is going to create booby traps and traps for you because it needs to survive. However, if you have unlearned all the bull skedaddle that's been taught, especially if you're in these here United America streets, expect some unusual and unexplainable things to start happening. And it may just be something you see personally because you're in a hole, but not everyone else is interacting with the changes in the particles. So in short, yes, expect some human behaviors to change. Now, where can you utilize this information for your benefit, right? How can you apply what you now know in a a way that helps you to win, right? You're going to see things that look like inspired acts, inspired thoughts, inspired ideas. And that means you're in a timeline where that inspired activity, it's communicating with your reticular mind so that you can have perception before it happens. Kind of like Raven Simone, like when you have a vision, you can see it happening clearly, but you have to have behaviors, or you have to be looking for the interactions with time and space that has that inspired action or that inspired thought to become an inspired action, to have an inspired outcome, because that's what you want, an inspired outcome. You're using the timeline for the outcome that you have a satisfactory expectation happen. And so in that, where things are having alignment, where there's interactions on a resonance, you have to be connected and not have resistance, so that when there's change that's needed, or when there's an inspired action that's required, you immediately do it. There is no resistance. And so some things are going to sound very crazy to you, like, I would never do that. You're going to start doing that because you have a short window to do it. Okay. In that, you're having chemical, emotional, energetic, you're having all these interactions with these particles. And because they're on these time sequences, if you program the whole before it dissipates and then it reappears somewhere else in this timeline or down the way, you've coded the whole to open up to benefit you, your family, your legacy, and all the things that are coming. Because again, it's going to come back on. And if you don't program it, you will not necessarily miss it, but you just won't get the opportunity again. So I'm sharing this because I'm supposed to. I've been very quiet, but if you're watching this before June 29th, go write down 100 things that you are expecting, and write it from a state of positivity, and write it from a state of it's already done. And when you begin to see those holes opening and closing, because again, they've already done the physics aspect of the science in colliding the magnets and colliding particles. They've already done the thing that we weren't supposed to do. But because it's already done, use it to your advantage. That's it. That's all. Bye, baby.